Hello everyone, it's me Z64 and welcome to the ultimate guide to Resident Evil Blender Renders. And today we are going to be covering stages in the RE engine. So, I haven't done anything with Requiem in this tutorial series, so you know what? Let's try to look for assets in Resident Evil Requiem. So, we're going to import models, of course. So let's go into RE Chunk 0, native Steam, and you might be wondering, well, yeah, we have character, we have environment, but where the hell am I going to find the actual models? You might be thinking here, but these are completely nondescript. You probably won't even know what the hell you're looking for. So, how the hell am I going to figure out which model is which? Now, let's say in RE2 Remake, for example, I'm going to go to RE Chunk, native Steam, and we're going to go to Object Root. It's going to be a lot more obvious what's what. For example, you can tell this is the ending, laboratory, you have the RPG, the orphanage. Meanwhile, Requiem doesn't really try to tell you what anything is. You have Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and Chapter 5. Chapter 3 is like the early parts of the game, Grace's Care Center, and Renwood, the city. Chapter 4 is Raccoon City with Leon and also the RPD. Chapter 5 is the Ark, I'm guessing. So yeah, we're using Requiem as an example because it's the most recent game. And I am going to import the Care Center. So, you might notice there's no items here. That's because you can't import these. These are scene files. I'm just showing you this for now. So we're going to go into the environment folder, but we're going to now download this. This link should be in the description, but you're going to go here to releases, and you're just going to download the Windows 64 version, assuming you're using Windows. If you're using Linux, you obviously download this. But now that we're done, you're going to extract that, and then you're going to go here, and you're going to open contenteditor.app.exe. Now, in the content editor, the platform should be Steam by default. If it's not, change it or whatever you're ripping the assets from. Now you're going to go to Configure Games, and you're going to go to Games. You're going to look for Resident Evil 9, and you're going to set up these paths. See, I have my path set to my Steam folder, the extract path I have in my Steam folder, and then the executable that's in my Steam folder. So now I can change my game to Resident Evil Requiem. So now if I open, I'm going to go to that exact place that my RE2, RE9, I'm going to go to this location, this path. I'm tweaking. What the hell? Steam, Steam apps, common, Requiem, RE9, RE chunk, native, Steam, environments. And now we are back where we were before. So we're going to go into the scene. We're going to go into chapter 3. And in here now you can see, unlike in Blender, you can actually see a ton of items here. So which of these could possibly be the care center? You might be wondering. Well, you just got to check every one of them, really. Any of these could be the care center. So I'm going to import each and every one of them. Well, no. But, yeah. So you may notice that in the scene here, it says, there is no 3D content in this. Well, you might be assuming that that's a bunch of lies. Well, here's why. Nothing's really loaded in. So you're going to have to go here to stage 3000. Okay, this is the Renwood Hotel, I'm assuming. Wait. No, this is the care center. So you're going to go here, and you're just going to have to click all of these things, because this is what's the hidden 3D models that you're not seeing in the care center. So, as we can see, I'm going to close this for now. Now you can see that we basically have this entire first half of the game completely intact. And we can run all the way here, all the way to the front of the care center. If you look at that, just like that too, all the way to the care center. Very quick and simple. And now, you don't have to be... Now, we're not going to use this specific version of the care center. We're actually going to use a different version. So we're going to open, and we're going to use chapter 302, I believe, is the good one that we're looking for. So now we're going to open the scene. And we're just going to open files until we get the exact thing we're looking for. This is outside. It's just directly outside the care center. We just double check if there's stuff inside now. Yes, we finally made it. Now we have the care center all set up and stuff. So now it's up to us to now look for what we are exactly trying to find. I don't know what this color stuff does. But, yeah. If you want to import the entire map, I wouldn't recommend that personally. But if you want to do that, you probably could. I don't think anyone's going to stop you. But yeah. Let's just import the care center. The strict care center, which is stage 30005. So now we're going to go to the control routes. And we're going to look into the meshes. And as you can see, that is a lot of freaking meshes. So we're going to look for these files. We're going to open transform. And we're going to check mesh. So now we're going to go to this exact folder. And then we're going to copy the transform values. But first, let me get the floor, which is SM2203100. And now we're going to look here. So now if we go back to Blender, we'll go to SM2X, SM22031. Now let's look for 031. And now we are importing 3100. You could import all of these. I think there's specific use cases for each one, so I wouldn't recommend it, personally. So yeah. Oh wow, MPLY. That is a new thing to me. NRC. Okay, these NRC textures, if you're a Street Fighter, if you want to do Street Fighter renders, I'm just gonna keep this in check. If you want to do Street Fighter renders, this NRC is a normal roughness. I don't know what the R. No, this is the normal. This is roughness, and this is cavity. So yeah, in episode 3.2, I think I just no, not 3.2, 3.1. I think I linked something that was a good texture resource. So if you ever need those for other Capcom RE Engine games, then feel free to check that. Because at the end of the day, this tutorial is just for Resident Evil, not for anything else like Street Fighter, like Devil May Cry, or any of that. But yep. Took a while, but as you can see, it's imported. So now we have this imported. Took a while, but at least we have it at least we freaking have it. That's more than nothing. Man, like all right. So now that we have the basic idea, I'm going to go ahead and import the rest of the thing. I'm going to do this off camera, so I'm just going to cut to it. And then I'll see you again when I'm finally finished, because it's going to take a while. Wait, I forgot to mention. Now to copy paste this over. Because remember, I imported one simple thing, but the positions are different. So, if we copy paste, I'm going to take this meshlet roots and I'm going to copy paste the numbers I see here. Now, you might think that is just completely wrong and weird, and why is it like that by default? I'm going to hide these just real quick. So we're back here. I'll tell you what, in Blender, this thing isn't really that far off, that far in front. Not in Blender, in here. So what's the deal? Well, to my knowledge, the y-axis is actually the z-axis. So yeah, we're going to go back here. We're going to press this to reopen the scene editor. We're going to look for, dude, are we serious? Hello? Hello? Okay, it was 005? Ah, damn this thing. Forget this. I don't know why there's like three of them. Ignore that. I genuinely cannot explain that. Okay, there's nothing. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm going to assume. Yep, this is it. So we're going to take this and we're going to put this in the z-axis. Except we're going to invert. Except, really quick, we're going to invert the y-axis. So now it's this far forward. So you might be wondering, why the hell am I doing this? What is the purpose? Well, the main purpose of having the Kerosene, copying these is primarily because sometimes assets will import. Let me get the wall, this wall, for example. This wall right here, for example. Like that. Can I pick it up? Yes, thanks for being a freaking. Oh my days, bro. What the hell? Why isn't anything like showing itself as imported? Editing controls. What the hell happened? Hey, Jockass. What's going on? Oh no 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 fuck. No, turn that off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. When I turn the game on. Whatever, man. So yeah, now we have the Cure Center imported. It won't let me press anything. I don't know why. Turn off, turn off, turn off. Here we go. But yeah, anyways, it's, oh boy. Anyways, let's just take this random asset. I'll take, SM22, no, no, no. We'll take SM3075-8. I don't know what that is. So let's import SM300758. So I'm going to take the RE mesh. We're going to go to SM3X. No, jackass. I'm going to go to 75. I'm going to go 30. 075. And we're going to look for 08. I don't know I don't know what difference that makes. But whatever. As you can tell, oh my gosh, I hate this version of Blender. As you can tell, there's a very stark difference. This is something you would expect on the walls. So where in the hell am I going to put this, you might be wondering. Well, considering I don't even know what part this belongs to, we're just going to check the file, and we're going to take the transforms directly. 5500, we're going to put 9.530, and we're going to have 25.4, but negative y. And that makes a whole lot of sense if I don't think about it more than a second. That really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, honestly. What we are going to do is we're going to look at these colored little lines. You see these? We're gonna see which ones that is. As you can tell, the green and the blue switch sides in Blender in this. So the y-axis, as you can tell, let me just move this. The x-axis is this, horizontal. The y-axis is this. And the z-axis is up, down, this. So now, we're going to copy every single number. So we're going to start with 2231, because we already have that imported. So we're going to copy 1780 over here. No, we're not, dumbass. That goes on the z-axis. And 35500 will go on the y-axis. It's pretty far back, but hey. Let me look inside here just to be safe. Just to be sure I'm not crazy. Yep, that looks about right. Its position. So now we're going to do the same thing with 30.075.08. So we're going to have this, and we're going to have the exact same position. Same X position, same Y position, same Z position. So yeah, I wonder where the hell could this thing be? Okay. So now, what you could do is you could join these together as one, because remember, there's multiple 30.075.08s. So I could copy this. I could copy this duo. I could duplicate it, Control D. I can Shift D. And then now, see that other one over there? 75.08. I can press this. Negative 550. And now we get something looking a little bit more like what I was expecting. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of this on my own time, and I'll rejoin with you guys later. 'Cause it's gonna take a freaking while. Okay, just to be clear, the y-axis should be inverted, plain and simple. So I'm gonna take this, the y, I'm gonna make it negative 25. This is gonna be negative 25, and then the big The big area here is going to be negative 35. You're wondering why this is coming out of freaking nowhere. It's not coming out of nowhere. Please just trust me on this. As you can see, if you compare what we have now to the Cure Center in the content editor, it looks a lot closer to what looks here. Anyways, just wanted to point that out because I didn't want people making that mistake. Anyways, yeah, I'm back to doing it on my own time. All right, so I am back. It has been a while. I'll tell you that. I have a good chunk of the map, a good chunk of the hull imported. I'm still missing a few spots. I just remembered. There's a few spots that aren't filled out, but I made sure that everything I didn't leave, I didn't include, was stuff I wasn't going to put in the render anyways. The only thing I'm really missing here that I care to put in is the door over there and the desk. The office desk right there. So I'm gonna just get that stuff in. I'll come back. All right. I finally have a portion of the care center set up. If you'll notice, the top half of the care center is just not there. And also, I'm missing a lot of little things. But for this render that I'm about to make, it won't matter. The camera will be placed roughly here. And I believe Grace will take up roughly this amount of space. That's my goal for the composition here. It's a really bad demonstration, but listen, I'm using a trackpad, so please give me some credit. This is basically the best I can do without going insane. But yeah, anyways, now that we have this connected, let me put this in my chapter 3 folder, and for reference, yeah, there's a good amount of folders, and some of them I even copied the actual models inside. So usually there would only be one of these meshlets, but I copied one because there's multiple instances of SM30 7508. So anyways, how do we light this whole scene? Okay, before I do anything, because I don't trust my computer, I'm gonna control S, and I'm going to put this in the renders tab. I'm just gonna call this Care Center, and now we're gonna open this in the viewport shading tab. I honestly thought it was rendered this entire time. It's exactly as I thought. Okay, wow. Okay, so yeah, my computer did not like this, so I had to restart. Okay, we are going to keep the color as is. So I'm going to make a lighting node. I mean, what? Okay, I'm going to make a light folder. I don't know why I said lighting node. Like, what? Dog. We're not going to add a point light. What we are going to add, get real. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't using my point lights. Oh boy. So yeah, how about I'll do it all in Blender. I'll do it here. I'll do it in the solid mode. So I'm gonna hide the color. Maybe that'll make it smooth. It does not make it freaking smoother. Oh my gosh. This is miserable. Yeah, don't worry. I hope your PC is better than mine. Mine is like a half decent laptop that can barely play the game this is even from. Like at its worst, I'm getting like consistent 20 frames in like Raccoon City. It's like actually bad. Like I genuinely hope that your computer is like way better than mine if you're doing like big areas. And I promise you, it does not get less resource intensive. Dude, you see this you see this amount of tries and the faces and the verts? I'm pretty sure Leon alone or like Leon and Grace. Those characters alone,
Editing Z64 there, that's just straight up false.
were like the same amount of polygons, if not maybe like 100K less. But like still, they have a ridiculous number. So, anyways, literally, there's two ways to do this. One, literally just use your eyes. There are like actual physical lights in the scene. So like I don't know, man. Use your eyes and like put your lights where the lights are. But you don't have to do that. Now, I don't get why you wouldn't, but let's say for example, I have to reopen the content editor. You know what? Forget the goddamn content editor. But like if you do want to have direct the exact lighting setup as the initial game, the content editor got you. You just gotta copy the directions of the lights, the rotation. Remember, the y-axis is the y-axis in Blender is inverted version of the z-axis in that content editor, and the z-axis is just the y-axis in that. But yeah, you can either do this, which is my personal choice, but it depends. It's a case-by-case basis. In this case, I'd rather do this. But in others, I may choose to, yeah. I'm already telling you. Listen, if you guys are using Blender Eevee, if you're using Eevee Next, this shouldn't be much of a challenge. This shouldn't be much of an issue for you guys. But you see me, I'm like really stubborn. I could have switched to Cycles if I wanted to use Eevee Net. If I wanted to use a modern Blender, I'm just a stubborn freaking bum. So instead of like actually using a Blender version that doesn't suck, actually no, I could never hate on my goat. I'm sorry, Eevee. Old. I apologize, Legacy Eevee, but like, yeah, there's really not much benefit to using Eevee, like Legacy Eevee, outside unless you're like me. Like, genuinely, the only reason I use Legacy Eevee is because modern Eevee just kind of sucks to render. Anyways, you see these white dots? I don't know if this shows up on Cycles, but yeah, you see that right there? That's not normal. It's already clamped, so I'm gonna go check if this is still a thing on Cycles. If you need, yo, please don't crash, please don't crash, please, 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 please. I'm begging you, I'm begging you, I'm begging. Okay, it's not crashing. Yeah, if you don't like this because it looks like AI, bro, it's easy. Just turn off the denoiser. I have it on because I don't want to look at this for a large majority. I like looking at a decently like I like looking at a legible image personally. So yeah. Anyways, let's go back to Eevee because I like it like that. I'm stubborn and I'm a bum. Anyways, you see these ugly ass lights? I think this only happens in Eevee. I don't know if this happens in Eevee Next, but I know for a fact it happens in old Eevee. Like I'm literally using old Eevee. All you have to do is just make it less rough. It's that simple. Like, quite literally, it's that simple. Anyways, if you want reflections, but you're a Eevee peasant like me, oh boy, it's very easy. All you have to do, let's shift A, we're going to add a light probe. It's going to be a plane. You might have thought I was going to use, probably thought I was going to use regular, like, volumetric. No, those things are pretty bad for reflections. Like, they're not good for reflections. Don't use them for reflection. They suck ass. Instead, use one of these. It literally doesn't matter how big you make it. It just needs to correspond to the whole area that you want reflectiveness on. And now, as you can see those cheap reflections? Yeah. Look at these graphics. Oh my gosh, it's almost like real life. Anyways, yeah, you only need to just increase it until it works, basically. But yeah, and then you just add the. Okay, we're gonna make the color of the place literally just black. And once again, we're gonna lights in. We're gonna set up the actual like positions of the lights. I'm gonna change these points to area lights instead. I think it's the better choice. Um. Oh, that's a little bit interesting. So, oh boy. So I'm gonna take all of these. I'm gonna change this to individual origins. I'm gonna scale them down. Gonna bring them up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 64 time or whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna convert these all to discs. I personally would add this at the very top. What's the Hey, what's the deal? Hey, jackass, what's the deal? Okay. Make the shadow bias 0.01. All right. Literally just light it to your liking, man. That's all I gotta say. Like, if you want full 100% accuracy, of course, make sure you copy what you see in the content editor. But like, I think to make this light, to make the lighting your own, you gotta like improvise a little bit. And I'll show you later that I don't just use the lights I get directly off of this, but yeah. You see, I'd launch Requiem, but I'd launch Requiem to get like good reference photos. So like I can get the colors right, but I'll rely on what's it called? What do you mean what's it called, jackass? Alright, so yeah, as I was saying, I would pull up refs from the game directly, or just launch the game. But as I said before, my PC is genuine butt cheeks. Like, it would probably like genuinely die trying to run those games. I'm gonna keep it above 50. What the hell did I laugh like I was Majima? Anyways, yeah. I didn't actually explain what these lights do. Sun is a directional. Point is a point light. Spot is a spotlight. Area, well, it does a specific area, as you can see, if I hide the others. It's only there. Spotlight is, well, exactly what it sounds like. Point light is, well, it covers a certain point of the area. Whatever, man. So I'm going to change this 40 power to 80 on every light because for some reason area lights are like double they're double the strength of points and suns. I do not know why, but hey, can I complain? Not really. And now to copy paste this to another side. And I highly suggest, even if you copy paste the exact coordinates from the game, I highly suggest that you look at references like directly from the game. Like capture your own refs, get something that isn't just um the RE Engine content editor. I beg of you because whoa. Should I go low? But yeah, anyways, my point with this is that okay, I'm gonna just like bring these down a little. Yeah, like that. But yeah, now it's gonna look really bad. It don't look terrible, but I've certainly seen better, I'll say that. Anyways, yeah. Our goal here, it depends on what you really want. You don't have to light it exactly like the game, but like 9 times out of 10, I assume you want the lighting to be like the game. So like, you should probably light it like the game. I'm just saying. So like, gather refs from the actual game and the RE Engine content editor. It's not enough. I'm telling you. And on top of that, you're gonna have to figure out how to do like particle effects like fire, like in case you're trying to render like Raccoon City outskirts. Because how the hell are you gonna deal with fire? That's something you're gonna have to handle. Like, I'm not a Blender expert, man. I know what I'm teaching what I know. That's basically what I'm doing this whole series. I'm teaching something that is like very specific to like people who want to make Resident Evil fan art renders in Blender. So yeah, after a certain point, you're just gonna have to learn the rest on your own. And hey, learning new stuff in Blender is fun. In my personal, honest, genuine, real, reasonable opinion. Okay. So yeah, what about that big thing over there? Now you see, if you have Modern Blender, you have ray tracing on. So this should already illuminate a good chunk of your scene. Now hold on. Let me check my Resident Evil Requiem screenshots. I don't have. Okay, now we have actual references. I'm just realizing I don't have those lights, I don't think. You see those there? Oh boy. Yeah, please thoroughly check your stuff. But yeah, once again, I told you, have references. Really important. Really important, I'm telling you. Like, hold on, let me see something. And as you can see in the refs, this is pretty high detail. Okay, so please look at your references. Because if not for me rechecking this, I probably would have never remembered that the lights in the care center were actually orange, like warm colors. Because I remember the care center for being a pretty bluish environment. Not very like warm tones. Pretty cool actually. So yeah, I decided to use a orangey yellow lights color in order to sort of give that vibe. So I'm just kind of copying the same hex value that I put for the first point light. Okay, I'm going to turn a few things down. Like the shadow depth, this is going to go from 1024 to 256. Cascade size is going to be 128, just to save on space. Just to save on resources, assuming this is even going to make anything faster, which, from what I can tell, it's not doing. So yeah, keep checking references, please. Now, if you don't want to do the baked lighting, or if you're like satisfied with this, if you're satisfied with the lighting, You can always just do this, like make the actual world color a bit lighter, make it a bit bluer. Because at the end of the day, this is a bluish thing. I personally really dislike doing that. It always gives the impression that this is a very, like, to me personally, I never liked how that looked. So, anyways, I'm gonna start adding like not fake lights, but like placing like standalone. What am I saying? Not standalone, not placeholder, but like lights that sort of go where I think that the light that I miss would go. So really, just use references. Um, that's all I gotta do. It's basic advice, but still, it works just the same as anywhere else. Use refs. And if you really, really want 100% accuracy, use the content editor and the values of the lights. Yeah. And I promise you, setting up lights here is a lot easier in a Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 remake, particularly. I don't know about 7. I've literally never touched 7. I don't really care that much about 7 to really look into it at all, honestly. Side tangent, but I don't really get all the hype 7 gets in the modern day. Like, oh boy, I'm starting to yap. But like, if this was still like 2017 and like when RE7 was a new game and nobody knew it, when RE7 was a new game and like RE was like basically just action schlock still. And listen, I'm saying this as an action RE fan, but like, dude, when the series was still like very action focused is what I mean. Not even putting its survival horror roots first and foremost. When it was still doing that, I would understand the glaze that RE7 gets. Because yeah, first game to not be freaking dumb fun action in like what, 15 years at the time? Zero came out in 2002. So like, yeah. But nowadays, like after like Capcom got their act together and like started making survival horror the focus of Resident Evil again, I don't really get the hype for 7, honestly. It's like it's a good game. Not particularly amazing though. I don't really see why people see it as like one of the best Resident Evil games or like the best Resident Evil game. It's good, but like not much more than that, honestly. And maybe I'm just too much of an action schlock lover to appreciate RE7 for what it is, but like it really doesn't do much for me. And that's probably because, and admittedly, that is probably because I love the action RE games so much. So, like, yeah, a Resident Evil action fan surprisingly doesn't like the non-action oriented Resident Evil games. But that's not even it. Also, where the hell did those lights come from? Anyways, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't check. So, anyways, yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, back to my freaking Resident Evil rambling. I'm mainly putting this in the video because I don't really have much else to talk about. Like, you want me to regurgitate, you want me to keep using references and stuff? Yeah, I could just shut up. But at the same time, it's my channel. I can do whatever the hell I want. Anyways, my point is that with Resident Evil 7, it's not really all that. It's like it's a good survival horror game. It's kind of scary. Like, I don't get people saying 7 is scary either. Like, it's not that much different from your typical Resident Evil affair. Like, maybe I'm just, like, really desensitized to Resident Evil. I played this after Village. It was, like, one of the last mainline Resident Evil games I played for the first time. Like, this, Code Veronica and RE0 were, like, the last few. Like, RE0 is the only one I'm missing so far. I'm not done 0. That one's also just kind of alright. It's good. I don't get the hate Zero gets, but I also don't really see. Like, I see some people saying this is a game is amazing, and it's just kind of like, I don't get that. But whatever, I'm not the opinions guy. Anyways, it doesn't matter that this is inaccurate. I don't give a shit. Because you're not going to see it. This is what you're going to see. This entire area is what you're going to see. This is lagging like crazy. Listen. Anyways, yeah, back to my tangents on Resident Evil. Because I want to put something in this Dead Space. Like Dead Space, the video game. Oh, this is so funny. Funny reference. Yeah, but my PC is really having a hard time. Oh boy. Yeah, this whole area is just kind of it's not built like that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna like bring them all together. Yeah, anyways, yeah, back to RE7. Once again, I don't really get why people say the things they say about 7. When like real talk, it's not all that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's not a bad game per se. I don't really get why anyone would hate on it necessarily, because it's still a good game, great game even. But like, just I feel the glaze it gets in the modern day 2026 is kind of pushing it. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. Or maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just a new gen TikTok fan or whatever. And I'm a LARPer because I don't like RE7. I just said I disliked RE7. That's not even true. I'm gonna change this to 1000. But yeah. But then again, maybe my opinions are wrong. I'm somebody who doesn't think RE6 is like abysmal dog shit. I think that game gets way too much hate. It's like a 7 out of 10, man. Like, yeah, it can get bad sometimes, but like, RE6 as a whole, I think is like the most average game ever. It's not really exceptional. It's not exceptionally bad, that's for sure. But it's not really exceptionally amazing. Like, it's a solid 7 out of 10. It does a lot of things right, but almost as much wrong. But I think it's great. I think it's good parts very much over, like, out. They don't invalidate the bad, but they basically do, you know? So, like, truly, I can't see myself giving half a shit about the bad when in comparison to, like, stuff in Resident Evil, stuff in other Resident Evil games. Like, realistically, RE6 is not that bad. It's just kind of way too ambitious for its own good. But I honestly respect its ambition. But yeah, anyways, back to Blender, guys. Remember when this was a Blender tutorial and not some rando yapping about Resident Evil opinions? Like, who does this guy think he is? Anyways, yeah, I'm going to color grade this real quick. Here's the compositor. So again, remember this from episode 3.1. I'm gonna add my color balance. It was 3.1? It was 3.2, never mind. My bad. 3.1 was the material episode. Anyways, now I'm going to... Nah, not that much. Somewhere along these lines, where it's not too blue. I want it to be kind of green. I don't want it to be green, never mind. I just backpedal as soon as what I actually saw. Yeah. Really laggy. This is why I don't choose EV Next. I promise you, it would be worse if I used EV Next. Okay, one of these things is using EV Next. I don't know which one it is. Mapped ENV emissive. Delete that. ENV default. Yep. This is literally what I'm looking. What the hell? Anyways, if you want to do Blender renders, please have a good PC because, like, dude, it's not even funny anymore. Like, genuinely, like, it's honestly starting to piss me off the amount of like issues I'm having, like frame rate issues, and like for Cycles users, you're not convincing me to use Cycles. I don't give a shit. But yeah. Turn off screen space reflections. I'm gonna turn that off. Always makes my viewport faster. It's literally 1 frame a second. Oh my gosh. Cycles. This is more like what I expect the care center to look like. It's a bit too green. It's a bit too blue for my. It's not blue enough for my taste. I like it like this. So yeah, honestly, literally, if you want accuracy, I honestly implore you to use Cycles, even though it's not very gamey. That's the issue with Cycles. It's like it looks like a CG film, and personally, I'm not a big fan of that. But you get ray tracing, like genuine path tracing with Cycles, so that kind of just defeats the purpose of not having it. It's literally a net negative. If you don't have Cycles, if you don't, like, literally, you're just kind of setting yourself up if you don't want to use Cycles like me. Like, please don't be stubborn. Don't be like me, man. Like, unless you have a shit PC, literally Cycles is just better. And I'm saying this as an Eevee truther. Anyways, yeah. Please, if you have a bad PC, honestly, you could completely skip this episode. It's really not worth the the frame rate that I'm getting, dude. My PC, my thing is actually kind of burning. Yeah, my PC, my PC. I say PC, I mean laptop. My laptop is genuinely like actually like really hot. I had to max out my fan just to be able to like render this properly because this is genuinely like basically cooking my shit. Like, please, I really, really, really implore you, if you have a bad PC, I'm gonna be honest. Use like the photo mode in the game you're trying to use. Like use photo mode. Use mods for photo mode if the game doesn't support it. Like I know Requiem is a photo mode, but like I don't think RE2 remake and 3 remake have photo modes. So like, okay, don't have that much. Like my point is, truly, there is nothing in this in these games that is worth. There is not a single model in these games that is worth the absolute like burning of your computer. So like if your PC sucks like mine, just save yourself the burning PC and just I beg of you, like genuinely just man, I genuinely forgot already. Okay, so I'm gonna bake indirect lighting. Cube map size is gonna be 64 bits. Diffuse occlusion action is gonna be 128 pixels. And now I'm gonna wait. Please do not crash on me. Please, 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 please. Please, I beg of you, I beg of you. I beg of you. I'm gonna blame you, Capcom. Please, 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 please. Please. Listen, I keep repeating it, but I just gotta say, man. Sometimes the stages aren't worth it, but like I'm just showing you how to in case you have a better computer than me. Honestly, I would much rather in every scenario just import the actual models, the actual stages. But considering how hot it's making my computer, how poorly it's running, I can't recommend this in every single instance. Like, I apologize. Holy But yeah. Oh boy! Oh boy! Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh! Okay, let me get to the place I want to go. Finally! And it's it. Look at that. We got, I'd say, pretty accurate lighting of the care center. Of course, there's like multiple issues with this. I'm not gonna pretend like this is perfect, but this is like a decent start. So, like, once again, I genuinely cannot stress this enough. Unless you're like animating, I'm going to be completely and totally honest. If you have a PC like mine, or like a laptop like mine that's like pretty weak, relatively by modern standards, it's not worth it. Like, it's not worth your freaking keyboard getting like really hot. Like, I can barely touch this stuff because of how hot it is. And it doesn't help that it's hot outside. So yeah. My points, and also just once again, don't just eyeball the lighting. Well, actually, do you can't eyeball the lighting. I literally just eyeballed the lighting myself, but I'd say you should still check everything. Be sure, be certain that your lighting setup is. Be certain, like, make sure to check references. Even if you're copying directly from the, even if you're copying directly from the original files, I still really really implore you to double check everything. Anyways, I think I might know why the windows and stuff look completely super off. And it's all due to the goddamn alpha. It's always the alpha. Literally, there's never any other reason besides the goddamn alpha. Alpha channel. Look at that A talk. It's just pitiful. Let's see what that's separated. Let's see the alpha channel. It should not look that. It should not look like this then. I'm curious. Multiply greater than what? I'm sorry. Anyways, if you have weird issues with alpha, just literally just plug in the red channel of the ATOC. Or wait, it's ATOS for these things. And this game uses NRC, and even though I thought that was just a Street Fighter 6 thing, I guess not. Listen, every RE Engine game is different and weird, and like they're all like their own brand of different. And anyways, this should now. I'm just gonna make this not alpha hashed, like just straight up. It shouldn't be like that because like there's literally no business. This is no business being opaque, like plain and simple. I mean, not being opaque. My dumbass. I'm gonna change this right here to alpha blend. And let me just double check with refs. See if the lighting is okay. Hold on, I have a 4K pic here. Looks alright to me. Only thing I change is just make it a little bit yellower. But I guess the base color doesn't freaking work. Hey, jackass. Oh my days. I'm blind. I'm so blind. I hate this stupid game. Requiem is the worst game ever made, by the way. It's worse than Yakuza Kiwami 3, even though it's like actually pretty good. And I'm just hating because I got like filtered on accident. Okay, it's not that yellow. It's not that yellow. It's more of an orange, anyways. It's not red. It's like this, and it's a lot less saturated. Even though this isn't even that much of a saturated color. Anyways, it doesn't freaking matter. Combined always. Anyways, yeah, I'm low-key dragging this video. Who knows? My bum ass might actually finish. Yapping for once. Anyways, I don't know what the deal. I don't know what the deal with this is. Leon S. Kennedy is a bum. Yeah, you heard me right. Leon S. Kennedy himself. Bum ass boy. Genuinely no aura, no aura, and he's a bum. Literally, like, what less could you want in a guy? No aura and a dead ass, a bum ass nigga. Like, that's it. My dude, say flex, say green, say blue, say green, say blue, I said green, I said blue, I said green. This is starting to get ridiculous. So, you know what? Episode's over, guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you on episode 6, where we look at MT framework stages and animations. Hopefully, if we have enough time, because this video has been dragging for way too long. So yeah, see ya.